As Tara's cab passed the Ashen Quarter, something heavy landed on its roof with as much delicacy as possible. The horse whinnied in terror. Tara pretended not to notice. When she looked down, she realized that she clenched her hands into fists, and the glyphs cut into her arms were glowing. A stone talon tapped the window. "Go away, Shale," she said. The talon reached down and opened the door, and limb by limb, a lanky, winged statue coiled himself into the cab. His furled wings pressed against Tara's shoulder. He watched her out of the corner of his faceted emerald eyes. The first time she'd met Shale, in human disguise, she'd thought he was cute. Not long after, she had stabbed him in the stomach and cut off his face. He'd saved her life since, and she'd saved his, and somehow they'd ended up something quite like friends. He said, "You don't have to tell me what's going on." "I know." "But whatever this is, you don't have to do it alone." Shale's eyes were clear, brook-like, as if he'd never met a task that was not easy. She had seen him hurt. She had hurt him herself. When he felt pain, he showed it. She shoved the letter toward him. Her grip crumpled the paper, already creased by its slow passage from hand to hand across a continent. He pressed it flat between his palms. Her mother's red wax seal winked as he opened the flap. She said, and stopped herself before her throat could betray her, and took a breath. "I should be gone a few days, a week at most. Can you tell Abelard and Kat and my 10 o'clock and my 1 o'clock and hells, tell all my appointments and tell Abe and tell that woman from the Two Serpents group and Cardinal Bede and Matt and the Rafferty girls and Miss Kay and Cos and Cyril and everyone? Tell everyone. Otherwise I'll spend the next year, the next rest of my life, telling them my pa is—" His arms settled around her shoulders. His talon-tipped fingers were long as her forearms, and his flesh was stone and his muscles steel. But there was a warmth to him, and a weight greater than the weight of his body testing their carriage shocks. He was older than her. She always forgot that because age hung so easily on him, while for her it was the muddying of a pool and the knotting of a body with scars. But a goddess had carved him before the world was marred, and he had seen so many of his fellows die. He got her to the airport. Habit took her across the dragon bridge to her cabin, and the beating of great wings lulled her to an approximation of sleep. And late at night, when the dragon's porter woke her to ask how she'd prefer to descend, they had opterons and balloons and short-flight craft work to let off passengers whose destinations fell outside their usual landing route. Habit helped Tara wave off the porter's aide and roll her suitcase to the hatch.